Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel, here with my January reading wrap up. I cannot believe we're a month in. I think like everyone else, January felt like an eternity, but I'm excited. I had a pretty good reading month. I read a total of 23 books for around 6,800 pages, and I had an average rating of 3.8. So all in all, pretty good. First, I'm gonna run through all the books I read, and then I'm gonna give you a couple stats like how many books I purchased, how many library books I read, all that fun stuff. So let's get to it. First off, I read Lord of Scoundrels by Loretta Chase. This is on Audible Escape, I believe, so if you're interested in it, it's a good way to read it. Wow, it was a ride. I gave that book 4 out of 5 stars. It does have a Romani slur in it, so that did knock it off a star. I know it's older, but I'm still gonna knock off a rating. I really enjoyed this for an old school romance though. Then I read A Madness of Sunshine by Nalini Singh, which I gave 2 stars. I had an arc of this. I put off reading it because I heard it wasn't good, and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna do it because it can count for Romanceopoly, and yeah. Not thrilled. Let's see. Next, I read American Dreamer by Adriana Herrera for Smutathon, and this was a delight. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I loved this book. I really want to finish this series up this year, but I also don't want to finish them too quickly, so there's that. I will link in the cards above my Smutathon wrap-up where I'll go more into depth on the books I read that week. Next, I read Preacher Man by Jessica Cain, which I gave 2 out of 5 stars. Oral exorcism, that's all I got, y'all. Let's see. Next, I read Piece of Work by Stacey Hart, which I gave a 3 out of 5 stars to. I struggle with workplace romances right now. I just am not into that power dynamic always, so it wasn't awful. I'll read more Stacey Hart though. I also read Prince of Broadway by Joanna Shupe, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars to. My cat is hitting the keyboards. I gave that a 4 out of 5. Maybe 4.5 out of 5. It was near perfection. I loved Prince of Broadway. It was such a delightful Gilded Age novel, and I'm really enjoying Gilded Age in my historicals lately. Next, I read Learn My Lesson by Katie Robert. This is book 2 in the Wicked Villains series. This one is Meg, Hercules, and Hades. This was a 3.5 out of 5. I like these. Obviously, if you don't like fairy tale retellings that are like dirty, not gonna be up your alley. I thought this was really fun though. Then I listened to Fantasyland by Kirsten Ashley, which I gave a 2.5 out of 5. Yeah, I didn't love it. It just didn't have the same Kirsten Ashley like thing that I love. So yeah, it's on Audible Escape if you are interested in it though. Then we have The Headmaster by Tiffany Reese, which I gave a 4 out of 5 to. I loved the twist in this. I cannot tell you any details besides go listen to it. It's very quick. Or read it. The last book I read for Smutathon, which was Thicker Than Water by Dylan Allen. This was a 4.5 out of 5 star read. Dylan Allen writes incredibly heart-wrenching stories, and I am so sold on her writing. I cannot wait to read more this year. It is a big goal in 2020. So be on the lookout for more Dylan Allen reviews on this channel. So I also read The Earl I Ruined by Scarlett Peckham. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. I adored it. I really like Scarlett Peckham's writing. She writes really beautiful prose, honestly, and you kind of get lost in her words. I'm reading one of her books right now actually, and it's just so engaging. It's astounding. Like, I'm just amazed by her writing at the end of the day. If you're into historicals and you want like historicals with a fun kinky twist, I highly recommend. Although book 1 does have a emotional cheating, I guess we could call it. It didn't bother me personally, and I'm usually not a big fan of it, but proceed with caution on that one. But I definitely think book 2 is a great jumping off point as well. So I read 5 books with my trope this month for reading the trope, which was Amnesia. I'm gonna just quickly go through those titles. If you want full like descriptions, there will be links in the comment box to the books, and to the video where I really like dive into this trope. First we have Tempting the Bride by Sherry Thomas, which I gave 3.5 out of 5 stars to. Then we have Pregnesia by Carla Cassidy that I also gave a 3.5 out of 5 stars to. And Bound to the Battle God by Ruby Dixon, 3 out of 5 stars. The Amorous Education of Celia Seton by Miranda Neville, which I gave a 3.5 out of 5 stars to. No, 3 out of 5 stars to, not 3.5. Then we have Love Will Always Remember by Tracy Livesay, which I gave a 4.5 out of 5 stars to, and I may bump that to a 5-star before the end of February. I keep thinking about that book and I keep wrecking it to people. I also read Empire of Sand by Tasha Suri during this, which was the Romance Sparks Joy book club for January, and I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars. It is an incredible debut. I cannot wait to read book 2 in the series. I just picked it up on audio and I'm excited to dive into it. Next we have Toxic Desire by Robin Lovett, which was the Pancake Sex book club of the month pick, and this was easy, like one of the most wild and delightful alien romances I've read to date. This was another 3.5, like almost 4-star read. I keep waffling. Honestly, I'm excited to read more in this series. Next, I read an arc of Blame It on the Billionaire by Naima Simone, which is out now, and I loved this. So this is a category romance, which I do read a good bit of, but I know a lot of people don't, and I think if you're curious, this is a good one to check out. I think it did a really good job with the billionaire trope and setting that all up in a way that felt okay, especially in the workplace. I gave that a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Next, I did a big reread of the Wayward Children series by Shauna Maguire, which I tend to do almost every January because I love reading them all leading up to the next book. So I read Every Heart a Doorway, Down Among the Sticks and Bones, Beneath the Sugar Sky. I skipped An Absent Dream because I just read it in December. And then I read Come Tumbling Down, the newest one. All of those I gave 5 stars to. I think that every time I reread them, I either rated them 4, 4.5 stars, and then I bumped them to 5. They're just incredible. I really, really like these books. Well, is that all I read? So that was my 23 books that I read in January. All right, let's talk about purchases, things like that. This year, a big thing I'm doing is I'm trying to track what I check out from the library and what I actually read and don't read from the library. I checked out a total of 9 books in January and I read 7 of them, so that's a pretty good split in my opinion, and I did okay at tracking this. I know it's not 100%, and my goal is to be much more diligent with it in February and continue to kind of track that, because I do find that I'm checking out a lot of books and then not reading them, which is fine. Like, there's no harm in it. I just don't want to go back on a wait list for 6 months on a book sometimes. Let's quickly go through my January spending. I purchased a total of 16 books in January. I've read a total of 3 of them. I only spent $32.66, which is really not too bad for me. I'm trying to keep it pretty low, but I did include a physical book I bought this month, so we're doing okay. We're doing okay. I am definitely working through my backlist more and more this year, and I haven't fully filled in my owned library on my reading spreadsheet, but I have gotten it up to 115 books and I've read a total of 12 of them. I'm happy with that. I'm continuing to add them as I read them and mark them as read. So eventually I'll have like a full total, but 12 of the books I read this month were from my library. Can't beat that. You really can't. Yeah, it's been an interesting reading month. I'm behind on Romanceopoly already, and we'll see what happens. The biggest thing, I guess let's talk about my February plans real quick. I have 2 readathons I'm doing this month. I'm going to do the Black Love-a-thon, and I'm going to do the Contemporary-a-thon. I will be vlogging some of the Contemporary-a-thon. I don't think I'm going to vlog the Black Love-a-thon, not because I don't want to, but because I kind of just want to use it as a challenge to myself to read even more diversely than I already do, because I don't feel like I did a great job in January. I was kind of really mood reading and in and out of books, but it's okay because it's a new month and we can always do better. So I'm, yeah, not going to be doing like a specific vlog for Black Love-a-thon, but I'm really excited for it, and I'm gonna make sure to vlog Contemporary-a-thon for the most part. That's it for today's video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Let me know how your reading month was in January, and if you have read anything I read and what you thought of it. I will talk to you soon. Be sure to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up when you get a chance, and I will see you soon. Bye!